thanks for joining us. We're at the Farm Show with the Secretary of Agriculture, Russell Redding. Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you again, thank you.
So it's the 100th Farm Show. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
100th Farm Show, a great moment for Pennsylvania. And as I say to everybody that, to think about just the changes in agriculture over 100 years, but also that our forefathers sort of said, we really ought to have a show to celebrate agriculture. 100 years on, we're still doing that. So we've done a couple of special things this year. One is right where we are is called a farm to shelf display. The idea being there's a lot of sort of mythology around sort of how does this production and agriculture and our food system work to go from farm to a shelf. We're taking 4 products and walking you through that process right now. You're going to see a lot of new competitive events in the family living area, in the show arenas. We've added alpacas this year. A lot of emphasis on food and the environment.
It's interesting you say alpacas. We did a recorded segment earlier with a young lady from our district that actually raises alpacas, and I was surprised at how many there are. I think people underestimate how important agriculture is for Pennsylvania.
Well, we have a very traditional view of it, right? So we don't always put alpacas in agriculture. We don't always put some of the hydroponic and food system stuff in agriculture. Reality is we can accommodate all of that, and that's the real beauty of this show.
Well, and it was interesting. I saw drones, and they had some satellite things not too far from where we're standing. Technology has really improved agriculture. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we don't fully recognize, I think, all of the influence of technology on agriculture. Certainly, being next to the UAVs, and you think about how do you deploy that? Well, that is both for surveillance on conservation of water quality work, of pests and disease problems on fields. We have embedded technology into most of our equipment, the tractors and combines, real-time data. It has changed all aspects of agriculture, and really I would say is a theme of this show. What has changed in agriculture? Technology has driven that.
And I know I've toured some of the farms that are in my district, and one of the first things you notice is how large the scale of operation is. One of the roads, they said it would have been, as many as 50 years ago, that might have been 20 family farms. It's down to being run by one person, and they rent the lands and everything else. How important from the industry side is agriculture to Pennsylvania? I believe it's our largest industry in the state.
It is, and I say to everybody, it's a major economic enterprise, and we in the department place the hardwoods industry in that. Some states don't. We put hardwoods where Penn's Woods. It's a significant part of agriculture. First in mushrooms, a lot of things we're first in, but 7.7 million acres of production agriculture every day. It is a major economic enterprise, 500,000 jobs in the state from farm to retail in agriculture.
And I know one of the important things that we do as the Commonwealth is help fund some of the research into the biotech and some, the disease control. So, what are some of the things we are doing to be cutting edge in that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of points I would make. One is part of our challenge is making sure we don't get the invasive species, right? You get these things that are coming in from China or Korea that are on crating material that end up being a major pest. We've got the spotted lanternfly in the eastern part of the state. Hope it doesn't come to the western part of the state in your district, but it's completely transformative, right? Because you've got quarantines now. You've got all this extra protocol. We've had issues with animal diseases. We've got high-path avian influenza. Research around each of those items with the University of Pennsylvania, as well as Penn State University, looking at food safety concerns that are, both in terms of extended shelf life, but also some fundamental chemistry and science that we've got to deal with. All of those are issues that keep us competitive.
Now, I know, just talking about the farm show itself, aside from the milkshakes, which seem to be the most popular thing, right, there's also displays. A lot of the kids bring and show animals. What do you think that teaches the kids about taking care of those animals, and what can we get from that as a state as well?
Well, I think there's nothing that says farm show or a county fair more than a competitive show ring with kids in it, 4-H FFA members showing animals. Many of those kids start out 8, 9 years old, and of course we see them here in the farm show. But you think of the values that are instilled in animal care, concern for something other than yourself, right? You think of the discipline that's embedded, and we see that at the farm show. But a really important story is we've tried to capture that as part of the 100th anniversary here. I was in the show ring yesterday with some students, and every time I'm with them, I'm amazed at their skill, their composure, their discipline, and to think that these are the folks who will be in our seats, right, in the years to come. Great moment. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Great to see you again. Thanks for all your support. Thank you.